Hello again and welcome back to the channel. And it's another day, another famous person talking about Eminem. Makes you wonder what people smoke when they tell you Eminem has been irrelevant for over a decade now, when anyone who wants to make the headlines uses Eminem to get the attention of the media. Now, in a recent interview, Nick Cannon talks about Eminem's impact in the industry, which he describes as undeniable, but for some reason, they always try to rationalize Eminem's success as more to do with his appearance than his skills, the way they put it in these interviews. And like I said in my previous video, you don't hear things like this from top-tier rappers that are considered some of the greatest ever. It's always those that didn't live up to the hype that try to rationalize it this way. Now, Nick Cannon didn't disrespect Eminem in this interview, but I'll be using this as a reference to explain something I've noticed lately. You're gonna wanna watch this to the end to fully understand what I'm getting at. Before we dive in further, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you enjoy content like this. And like I always say, the likes are free, so smash that button in 1, 2, and boom. So back to the point, and here are some quotes from Nick Cannon's interview. When you get a blonde-haired white boy that's actually dope, that's like the second coming of Christ to the music industry. He continues, because you're gonna get all the credibility. Like, dude, you can't deny that he's dope. He'll get in front of anybody, battle anybody. Then the fact it's like, oh, I can sell and market this dude like Pepsi. And he's crazy and entertaining too. Oh, is a superstar, oh, is Elvis on crack. So as you can see, in discussions like this, Eminem's artistic prowess always takes a backseat to his marketability, and they make it seem like Eminem got to the position he's in right now by sitting on his bum because of his appearance. I know it's been over 2 decades now, but why do they act like they weren't alive when Eminem first came on the scene? Initially, Eminem experienced a lot of resistance, even from people in positions of power in hip-hop and in politics. Many in hip-hop passed him up, and Dr. Dre took a huge gamble that would have destroyed his career if Eminem did not succeed. Politicians pushed to censor him, and it was only after he overcame all this through hard work and Dr. Dre's faith in him that he got propelled to the forefront. You don't get as big as Eminem, riding on skin color. These guys forget Eminem wrote songs like Stand and Lose Yourself, among many other great songs that got bigger than hip-hop and are at the forefront in terms of hip-hop songs of the 21st century. And tell me how Eminem's appearance aided in crafting these songs. Many people can rap, but can't make a good song if their lives depended on it that millions of people will be able to relate to. But Eminem can rap, can make good songs that are not off the assembly line like most pop songs and even hip-hop songs these days. This ability is what got him up there and not his appearance. Take away the iconic songs and albums and there's no Eminem. Another section of the interview I find ironic is Nick Cannon talking about women and music consumption, since that applies more to him than Eminem. It's capitalism at the end of the day, Cannon said. Hip-hop music, the people who buy hip-hop music are white people, specifically all white girls. If you look at the demographics, the way it all breaks down, well, music in general, even when you look at the streaming numbers, women, number one, are the biggest connoisseurs of music when it comes to consumption. And then when you break down demographically how it all works, from the fan bases to the girls who buy tickets and screaming in the front rows, they create the stars. Now, I don't disagree with the fact, but I'll get to what's ironic about Cannon making this statement. Now, these rappers love to use anecdotal evidence as facts when talking about how people in the hood don't listen to Eminem. And if you know anything about scientific studies, you know that anecdotal evidence, regardless of how true your experience may be, are not reliable and don't hold up in a scientific study. In other words, anecdotes are not considered facts, but I can also play the game of anecdotes. Did you know that in the 2000s, early 2000s, when Nick Cannon was making cheesy flicks, all the people I knew that liked Nick Cannon were females? I kid you not here. Everyone who talked about Nick Cannon that I knew were females. Eminem, on the other hand, most females I knew weren't even into his music. Now, going by what Nick Cannon said, talking about white women and women in general, he is only here today as a celebrity because of the push his female fans gave him, since I didn't know one guy who thought Nick Cannon was dope in the early 2000s. Now, this is anecdotal, which is why I won't claim that my personal experiences in the early 2000s are facts. Guys like Jerome and many people on social media struggle to make this distinction, which leads me to my next point. I made a video yesterday about Conway referring to Eminem fans as a bunch of nerds and stans, and to my surprise, some Eminem fans agreed that this is true. Eminem fans are a bunch of nerds and stans, but you know the irony of it all? Those that agreed claimed to be Eminem fans too, and believed they were not nerds and stans. Did you catch that? If you're an Eminem fan and you agree that his fans are nerds and stans, then automatically that makes you one since you agreed with the generalization. So you agree that as an Eminem fan, you only listen to Eminem. So do you still agree with that statement? Same goes for an Eminem fan who's not white that agrees with statements like black people don't listen to Eminem. The fact that you're not white and are an Eminem fan makes that statement redundant. If you're with the camp that believes black started hip-hop so no one can be better and every other person is a guest, then I hope you keep that same energy with other things black people dominate that they didn't start. Football was developed in England, but Brazilians played better than they ever have. Blacks dominate basketball and American football. They didn't start it. Jimi Hendrix has been described by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as the greatest instrumentalist in the history of rock music. He didn't invent any instruments, but played it so well to earn that reputation. Starting something doesn't mean you have to hold on to the title of best to do it. Japanese car brands remain the world's most reliable to this point, but did you know that there was a time when Japanese cars were considered to be the worst? They didn't invent cars, had terrible reputation initially, but today manufacture the most reliable cars. I make videos about Eminem on this channel, and my aim since I started this was to create a place on YouTube where Eminem fans can get to see facts about him and appreciate his music more, which is why I break down songs. I found this to be crucial since most publications I see focus on the negatives of Eminem lately and ignore important facts about Eminem. This is an organized effort to squash many generalizations about Eminem that are mostly based on anecdotal evidence, and I've done a great job squashing them, especially for Eminem fans that were swayed by these generalizations that aren't grounded in anything but hate and prejudice. The hood doesn't listen to Eminem is what they say these days, but I'm yet to see evidence besides anecdotes that prove everyone in the hood doesn't listen to Eminem. Until that can be proven, no one interested in knowing the facts about situations should believe that statement. They also say no club plays Eminem's music, and in my YouTube stories I shared a clip of a club I went to that played Eminem's music a while back. I mean, what are the odds? I make Eminem videos, and when Jerome said no one plays Eminem's music in the club, I go out and boom, Eminem is playing in the club. Now, does my experience prove that all clubs play Eminem's music? That's a big no. But one thing it proves is that Jerome is talking out of his rear end if he believes no club plays Eminem's music. And don't tell me he didn't mean it like that. How do you know how he meant it if he clearly made generalizations that the hood doesn't listen to Eminem and clubs don't play his music? Same with only white people think Eminem is the GOAT. I'm not white. Most of my friends aren't. and many of us consider Eminem to be the GOAT. So as you can see, these generalizations are redundant. Even scientific studies have to be peer-reviewed to be considered credible, and we have grown people making generalizations that will get you stuck in first semester, first year, pursuing a gender studies degree. A lot of black rappers in the United States have made it to the top, like Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Wayne, and I can keep going. So just stop it with the talk about Eminem's appearance. We can't prove anything. So what are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comment section. And if you made it this far, do the honors of dropping a comment. They are greatly appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.